Hi, and welcome to Behind the Saddle. My name's Liam, and today we've got apprentice jockey on the show, Mathew Lloyd-Slater. Thank you, Mathew, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. Have you been up to much lately?
No, not a lot. Just ticking along through the all weather and just trying to get as many rides as we can at the moment, and just hopefully try and beat last year with 8 winners. So hopefully we can try and get down to that £5 claim. But we've just got to keep ticking away with what we've got. But no, things are going well this year.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So let's just take it back from the very start for yourself. How did you get involved in obviously being a jockey and obviously into racing?
So I left school at 15 and I went up to the racing school at Doncaster. Um, Went from there to John Gallagher's. I've dotted about in a few yards. Like well, worked for some big trainers like Mark Johnston when he used to train, and yeah, just dotted about for them trainers and thought about taking it serious when I moved down to Lambourne for Mr. Portman, Jonathan Portman. Went amateur for him. I got he treated me well. I got a handful of rides for him, but there was apprentices already in the yard, so it was just hard for progression. So then I moved up to Mr. Lidster, Craig Lidster up Yorkshire way. Got my apprentice out with him and started going apprentice for him, and that's where it all started as apprentice with Craig Lidster.
And obviously, did your parents expect you to be a jockey now? Or was that
No,
ever
no, not no racing background, nothing at all like that. Just something different, and I thought, why not give it a go?
amazing? So obviously, we've been up to the National Horse Racing College in Doncaster, and obviously they have amazing facilities and that. Just talk a little bit how that was for you and how much you learned there.
Yeah, it's good, even just for like life skills and etc. Just a hell of a lot to learn. I've still got a hell of a lot to learn as well, but you do learn a hell of a lot of it on the job. But really helped me now, and I still speak to a few of the instructors now that are at the racing college, and now I do stay in contact with a couple of them, and they've been really good towards me.
And did you have any role models or influences growing up, or anyone you looked at when you was at the college or spoken to, as
Yeah,
obviously from previous yards?
so obviously the main one was AP. Like he used to watch a lot of racing when I were a bit younger. Obviously AP McCoy and Ruby Walsh and them sort of lads. And to be fair, with my height, I thought I was gonna end up going over the jumps, but luckily my weight stayed off, and I'm able to
Yeah.
ride on the flat comfortably. Um, but no, yeah, touch wood, the weight can stay off, and we can keep going for as long as we can.
Obviously, you talk about obviously when you done them 12 weeks in the National Horse Racing College, and then obviously went to your first obviously trainers yards. What was that feeling like, and what did you think you learned there?
It was quite scary, quite intimidating. It was a
Yeah.
bit nervous, um, but no, just a hell of a lot. I learned a hell of a lot through my first job in racing, and we're just still learning on the job to the day. Like I've been in the game 7 years now, but I'm still learning every day. You're always learning something new in racing.
So take us back to the first time you had your first ride. What was that feeling like as well?
So the first ride that was on a horse called Knight's Gambit at Leicester. Came second on him. Still remember it so well to this day. A good jump jockey, Freddie Gordon. He's the one that beat me that day. But no, I've still got great memory of that day, and it still do look back at that day and how far I've come.
And what would you say your biggest challenges have been? Obviously, starting off from when you were first had your first ride, obviously growing up until now.
So it's just the biggest challenge is probably from your first ride. You're always keen to have another ride, and it's
Yeah.
just always trying to tick along and always trying to be busy. And obviously, it is hard. It's very competitive sport, but it's hard to stay busy. But when you're busy, you couldn't be any happier. You can't complain. Love being busy. Like I'd go up to Newcastle for one if I could. Go up to Ayr for one if I could. I'm willing to travel anywhere for one. But no, it's just staying busy. The key thing is and trying to keep yourself in a rhythm and on the track as much as you can.
Yeah. And what do you think you feel like you need to be, and what you've got to have personally to be a jockey?
I like a lot of it obviously is fitness wise, and you have got to be be a bit talented at race riding, and it is a lot of a mental game. A lot of the times you will spend on the motorways alone, on the way to the races, and it can be quite a daunting day at the races if you're
Yeah.
not mentally prepared. Um, Driving up to Newcastle the other day on my own and all the way back, and if you've had a bad day in the office, and it could be a hell of a long drive back, and yeah, it's a very hard mental game, very very hard mentally.
Yes, and obviously there's obviously always a lot of positives and all, but also on the other side there's a lot of negatives. So obviously being a jockey as well. Obviously, like you mentioned there's a lot of travelling. Obviously, you're on your own all the time, and that obviously gets quite physical. And obviously, mental well-being is such a key, I think.
Yeah, so the mental well-being is you just speak to the lads. Like a lot of
Yeah.
lads will be there to help you, and just even pop someone a phone call on the way back and just have a chat makes your journey go so much quicker. And there's always just someone there to speak to. Um, yeah, even when you've had a bad day at the office, and there will be people there for you just to give a quick call to and have a chat. It just makes you feel the world better.
So obviously you've had a lot of rides so far in your career and a few winners as well. How proud was you when you got that first winner on the board?
Yeah, the first winner on a horse called LaQuinto, I ended up winning three in a week on him. Um, yeah, still remember that, and just to how far I've come from that as well as a rider and as a person. It just you're just proud of where you've come from, if you know what I mean. Just to even ride a winner, a lot of people don't even ride a winner, and
Yeah.
it is just it is a long way just to ride a winner, and now I've knocked up 10 winners, and it's just a proud moment.
So you currently at Tony Carroll's yard, if I'm correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, based with Mr. Carroll. Yeah,
Yeah, and what's he been like as obviously on
yeah,
the yard with yourself?
treated me really well. He supported me from the day I came to him, and to be fair, he's not stopped supporting me. He's constantly put me down for horses, and just just riding for Mr. Carroll, he gives you a lot of confidence. Riding for such a big trainer, the champion all-weather trainer, it just does give you a hell of a lot of confidence with him behind you. And we've got a lot of horses capable of winning races, and he's putting you on them. And no, it's just a real big confidence boost with such a big yard behind you.
No, definitely. And I think about people speaking very highly of Tony because we've also had Molly Gunn on the shows. Obviously, she's in the Tony Carroll's yard as well, so he's spoken
Yeah,
so highly of him. Obviously, I know Molly at the moment, he's suffered a really bad injury at the moment. And obviously, the previous jockeys who we've had on the show as well, like Lloyd Hanley, who's obviously unfortunately had to quit racing due to obviously a bad injury. Obviously, I know it's quite unforgiving. Obviously, what do you think the toughest setbacks you faced in the cell so far?
so the one so far would be the biggest step back would be I rode a horse for Craig Lidster up at Leicester called Bluff on the Bus. Nick Bradley owned it. Um, a very, very short price horse, and I made a mistake, and I've stood up on the horse, and I've ended up getting caught on the line, serving me a 28-day ban then. And very early on in your career, a lot of people won't touch you after that, and it was really hard to come back from that. And I really did struggle to get the rides and stuff, but touch wood, we're going the right way now. We're going the right way, and things are looking up. And no, yeah, it's just something that I'll never do again. I'll
Yeah.
never do that again.
And how do you think you come out from that? Obviously, there's a lot of people out there supporting you. Obviously, from them
Yeah,
tough
like
moments.
there was plenty of people on the other end of the phone, making sure I was okay mentally, and yeah, there was just mainly just talking to people about it because I won't be the first jockey, and I definitely won't be the
Yeah.
last jockey to make that mistake. And there's plenty of lads that have made them mistakes, and there was always someone there making sure I was okay. Just a little conversation about it
Yeah.
with a lot of the more experienced jockeys. Like I think Tom Eves were the first jockey to ring me after that incident, and he said, "Look, kid, everyone makes mistakes, and
Yeah.
you're not going to be first, and you're not going to be the last to make it. So keep your head up and just keep kicking."
No, it is. It's amazing that this sport is out there for fellow jockeys, and obviously people always giving you obviously advice and going forward, and obviously helping you along the way. Let's just take a little bit about your day in a day of the life of yourself. What does a day look like for you, obviously, when you are racing?
So normally when I'm racing, I'll probably still go and ride out a couple horses for Mr. Carroll at maybe 7 o'clock, about 7 o'clock in the morning, just depending on where I'm off racing and what time race I'm in. I'll be
Yeah.
leaving racing either fairly early, or sometimes I might even do evening stables and head off racing. It could be late, like the other night, 8:30 at Wolverhampton. I even had time to do an evening stables and then just head off racing, get there a couple hours ahead of the race just to make sure, because anything can happen, traffic, anything can hold you back. Just want to make sure you get there in a good mindset. And yeah, you just go from there, how many rides you've got, and you just have a good look through the form of every horse in the race when you get to the races. And just, yeah, just going over every little detail, just so you're prepared. And you're better being over prepared than under prepared, I think, just to know what I expect to happen during the race.
No, definitely. Obviously, you did mention a lot of careers in a lot of careers that you can do in racing. Obviously, before obviously we do. Me as part of the channel behind us, I want to showcase all the people behind the scenes in racing and how vital they are to the sport. How vital, obviously, you've got head travellers, you've got stables, stable and yard staff, grooms. How vital they are to the equine
Oh, they're
community.
so vital, so vital. We'd be really struggling without them at the end of the day. If you didn't have the person going in the morning to feed them, if you didn't have the girl to be riding them every morning, or the girl to be mucking them out every morning, we wouldn't have racing. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have racing. So they are a real vital part of the team, and a lot of the time they're forgotten about, and they shouldn't be. Um, yeah, and just seeing a couple of the girls leading the horses up that they love and seeing them win, it just means the world to them. Really does mean the
Yeah.
world to them. Them riding a horse every day and seeing it go and win on the track, it just shows that hard work does pay off at home as well.
No, definitely. How would you say you would balance? Obviously, I feel like you've got to have a lot of motivation. Obviously, with obviously traveling and etc. How do you think that balance weighs up?
Yeah, so you've got to obviously be dedicated to the job. You'll miss out on things, parties, etc. Christmas, New Year's, you'll miss out on, but you've you have got to balance it with a social life, with a racing life, or you would just go do lally, and you just mentally would end up going sort of thing. So you have got to balance your social life with your racing life quite well, and I think I do that quite well at the moment. Um, yeah, having plenty of time to socialise and plenty of time for work. Yeah, I think it is a key balance. Like,
And what's something that everyone would be surprised to learn about yourself or learn about being a jockey that not many people would know?
um, the probably riding the horse is the easiest bit.
Yeah,
That is the least stressful bit because you're out there on your own. I love it. I enjoy it being out there on the track. Couldn't be happier. That's my little happy place. And it's just obviously you've got to go through your form, which can be a bit of a long if it's
yeah,
big runner race or whatsoever. And then the hardest part is if the horse has probably been a little bit disappointing and coming into a bit of disappointed owners and disappointed trainers. Everyone loves coming into happy owners and happy trainers, but everyone's going in there to win the race, and there's obviously only one winner. So it is quite hard coming back into disappointed owners and disappointed trainers.
no, definitely not. You want to speak to owners? Obviously, I can imagine that you speak to a lot of owners after races and before races. You want to obviously speak to them on a regular basis.
Yeah, so plenty of our owners, to be fair, with a lot of owners at Tony Carroll's yard, they are very good and they will be coming to see the horse quite often. So
Yeah,
you build a good relationship with them and you get quite friendly with a lot of the owners and obviously give them regular updates about the horses that you ride if you ride their horses every day and just keep them in the loop and keep them very updated with the horse, which a lot of owners probably will like. But no, it's just being very polite to the owners and just speaking well to them, sort of thing, and just making yourself reflect on it. Even if you give that horse a bad ride, but you were very polite to him, and you were a nice person to him, they'll always think, oh, it was a nice lad to me. We might give him another chance on that horse
yeah.
again.
And let's talk about So at the moment, I'm not too sure if you've got an agent. If so, how vital they are to your career?
So yes, I've got an agent called Mark Glassett. Um, at this stage of my career, we're struggling a little bit with outside rides. Like I had a nice ride for Ian Williams the other day up at Newcastle. I went up for, but a lot of the time I am ringing trainers up myself in between lots riding out for Mr. Carroll. I'll be there going through entries and decks and declarations and ringing a hell of a lot of trainers up myself just to hopefully get my name about a bit more and just
Yeah.
that chance of getting on other horses for other trainers and hopefully just building new connections for with other trainers and owners.
No, it's amazing that you're doing. Obviously, that comes again to say, obviously, you've got to be dedicated to the sport and obviously trying to better yourself in every way possible.
No, that's it. Like I'll be on the equisizer quite often. Like I've got my own equisizer, so I'll be on that a few times a week whenever I'm not racing and with jockey coaches and like we've got our own physio and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of the time I will be spent lunchtimes on equisizers with jockey coaches, just trying to improve. There's all like a hell of a lot of improvement to come, but we're going the right way anyway. So I just hope for the improvement to start coming a bit sooner and sort of thing and just got out there to be a competitive sport. So we've got to be as competitive and fit as we can with all the other lads out there on the track.
No, that's amazing. That's great to hear. So let's just learn a little bit about yourself off the track. Do you have any hobbies, interests away from racing, or what are you doing?
So yeah, I'd follow football, Manchester City. So I'd follow a bit of football. So
Oh, I don't
whenever I'm
like
not,
them.
so whenever I'm not racing, I'll be, I'll. You got to try and keep yourself busy. Like in the summer, I'd go golf with a few of the lads and whatnot. The driving range. Um, I enjoy my cricket, so I'll watch a bit of cricket. But no, it's all just trying to stay busy and yeah, just trying to stay busy and not get too heavy. That's the biggest problem, the weight.
Yeah. I think at the time of recording, I don't think City are doing too good at the minute, are they? Are they
No, we're
still
not at
2
the
0 down?
moment. Not at the moment, no. But
And
oh man.
do you get to go to many games? Or is
No,
it
I used
hard
to
in the
a lot
schedule?
when I was a bit younger. I used to go a lot to the Etihad, but now quite busy with work and it's a bit of a way up back in Manchester, about 2.5 hours. So it's a bit
Yeah.
of a long old way back there. But if I was back home and there was a game, I'd try my best to get there, sort of thing.
And obviously, let's just talk about a little bit about your family. How supportive have they been in your career so far? I know your brother Ben, who obviously I've spoke to recently. And did he start off riding as well? And obviously he's not.
Yeah, so my brother, he was the first one into racing, and I just weren't too interested in school. Like I weren't a bad lad or anything. I just weren't interested and didn't do too well with my grades and stuff. So I just came into racing to see if I'd enjoy it, and I've ended up staying in there. My brother, he'll be there telling me what I'm on. He'll be the first person to be on what I'm riding. He'll see before what I'm on. He looks a hell of a lot into my career, and he'll be there. He'll be sometimes messaging me, "Oh, give this trainer a call. There's no one on that horse," and etc. My mum and dad, they're not too much into racing, but they do follow racing because I'm in it. But no, my
Yeah.
brother would probably be my biggest supporter, and he'd always be there for a phone call if I've given one a bad ride or if I've had a good day, bad day. He'd always be there on the other side of the phone, having a chat about my day and what I could have done better and what I could have done worse, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's great that obviously he's doing that, and obviously you've always got that support behind you, and obviously someone always in your ear, always keeping you. Obviously, once again, we go back to obviously keeping you motivated as well, and obviously trying to improve you every way possible. Because I can imagine that's what you need from someone as well sometimes.
No, that's it. Like you obviously get lot of a lot of bad in your ear. There's a lot more people out there wanting you to fail than succeed.
Yeah,
And you do figure that out throughout the years in racing, and there is a lot more out there wanting you to fail. But you've just got to surround yourself with a lot of good people, like jockey coaches, for instance. They'll always be open for a phone call after racing, just have a discussion, what you could have done better, what you could have done worse. And then you take that into your next ride or a session on the exercise or just anything. yeah, just anything. A lot of people are there to help you, and there's a lot of people there to soon shut you down, sort of thing.
2026, sorry, look like for yourself, and obviously, where do you want to be at the end of the season?
So we're hopefully busy into the summer. Just hopefully try and tick along with a few more outside rides. Like Tony supported me massively. I couldn't have asked any better of Tony to support me. No, just try and tick along with a few more outside rides and build a few more connections up. Then just hopefully a ride in quite a nice handicap or something like that towards the end of the lines of the year. Yeah, but just try and get as many rides and as many connections as I can get, and just try and keep ticking along with a few winners here and there, and just hopeful for a big year, hopefully.
No, definitely, and hopefully myself and obviously the channel hope you really do have a big success this year in 2026. We're going to play a little game now, Matthew. So we played this with Molly. This was the first time we played it with her. So we're going to try and, there's 59 race courses in the UK and Ireland, Northern Ireland. We're going to try and see how many you can name in a minute. She got 21. So 21 is the time is the to beat.
Are we doing jump and flat, yeah?
Yeah, jump and flat. So I'll set the timer now. She got 21. So let's see if we can beat her. I'll let you know when to go.
Perfect.
Go.
Brighton, Yarmouth, Leicester, Windsor, Cheltenham, Fakenham, Ayr, Kelso, Pontefract, York, Newbury, Sandown, Southall, Wolverhampton, Chelmsford, Lingfield.
30 seconds.
You get lost.
Any up north, Scotland wise.
Chepstow, Hamilton, Bangor-on-Dee,
10 seconds.
Carlisle, Chester, Catterick.
That's it. Time. I can officially reveal that you got 22. So you go. You beat it by one. You beat it by one. So at the minute, that's the second time I've done that. So it's a new game we are doing with jockeys. So at the minute, you're top of the leaderboard.
The thing is, you think you know plenty of race courses, but when you get put on the spot, it's a lot harder than you think.
It is hard. It is hard on the spot, like, and you only got a minute as well. And there's obviously in the UK and Northern Ireland there's 59, but obviously if you went into Ireland, you'd take there's 80 odd. Right, so I'm just going to ask you a few final questions now, Matthew, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Quick fire questions. So, what's your favourite track to ride at?
My favourite track, it'd have to be Windsor as my luckiest track.
And your best horse you've ridden so far? Or you've won on?
LaQuinto. LaQuinto would be the highest rated, I'd say, I think.
Dream race to win in the future?
It got to be the Derby. Got to be the Derby, I'd say.
And what race course would you love to ride at?
I've not ridden at Ascot yet. I'd love to ride at Ascot.
Is that on your plans for hopefully 2026?
I'd like to hope so. I hope we can tick that off the list.
What's one horse we all should look out for in the future at Tony's Yard?
Tony's Yard. I'd like to say LaQuinto should be still well in, so hopefully LaQuinto.
Yeah, we mentioned that Molly's favourite. One of Molly's favourites is the Three Dons.
Yeah, Three Dons. She won plenty on him.
Yeah,
she's won enough on him.
He went over hurdles, didn't he?
Yeah, he ran today over hurdles. He came third today over hurdles.
How did he do?
Pardon?
How did he do today?
Came third at Leicester. No, he ran a great race. Ran a great race over hurdles.
Yeah, he come second last time, and obviously third, so another positive.
No, that's it. He seems to enjoy his hurdling, so.
Yeah, it's the future. What's your favourite cheat meal?
Cheat meal. I quite like a Greggs.
Greggs? Oh,
I like a good Greggs.
That's good. What would you say your best friend is in racing? Do you have anyone, obviously, you know?
Best friend, probably Jack Doughty in the weighing room. Yeah, Jack Doughty would be my best friend, I'd say.
And do you have any superstitions or anything before you go out to a race, anything you do or anything like that?
No, nothing in mind. Like, there's not much you'd keep the same sort of thing. So I'd say I wouldn't know.
And would you ever look at riding abroad? Is that anything that's been interested in you?
Yeah, so my jockey coach messaged me the other day exactly what Jack Doughty did last year, riding in Italy. I think it's only for a couple of days over there. So he said
Yeah.
just apply and see what happens. So we're just going through that with my jockey coach, just getting applied for that and seeing what happens. And you never know, they might say yeah, they might say no, but you may as well try and take the opportunity while it's there and apply.
Yeah, definitely. And one last question for the viewers. Oh, sorry, two, I should say. What's one message you'd like to give to anyone who obviously have helped you along your career so far, and obviously in the future as well?
No, you're very grateful for all the help that you get, and there's always someone worse off than you, so just be very lucky in the situation that you are. And as you get a bit older, you do understand that a bit more, but just be grateful that your situation that you're in.
Definitely. And obviously, one last question. Have you got one bit of advice for anyone who's looking on, obviously, being a jockey or maybe going into a career in racing?
Yeah, so obviously have a lot of fun while you do it. It's a great industry to be involved with. You have got to keep your head down and work hard. And yeah, there are plenty of early mornings there, but the rewards do show if you do put hard work in. And yeah, it is hard work, but the rewards do pay off.
No, that's great. Well, Mathew, honestly, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for coming on the show once again. And obviously, we do wish you the best of luck for obviously the rest of the year and obviously the future years and hopefully more winners on the board for yourself and rides.
Nah, perfect. I appreciate you inviting me on, and it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.